The invocation this morning is from Deepak Chopra's 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. The universe operates through dynamic exchange. Giving and receiving are different aspects of the flow of energy in the universe. And in our willingness to give that which we seek, we keep the abundance of the universe circulating in our lives. And sure. I was thinking greeting. We would be greeting. That's for all of the folks who are here. Let us all greet each other in the morning in the manner in which we're accustomed. Would you read the statement of intent? I haven't yet. Would you? I will. Thank you. Since I am supposed to be presiding. You are? Good, I didn't know that. I asked Carol if she presided, she said no, and I didn't know you were. So I can step away. Awesome.
Hold on, 1 minute. Well, good morning this beautiful day today. Welcome to Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. Thanks for coming today, and thanks for those of you joining us on Zoom. Our statement of intent. We are fortunate to have a variety of speakers for Sunday services. By presenting guest speakers, we gain wisdom from all those who share. This is a church where we can worship the God of our own understanding, a place to experience joy and be uplifted, a place where we can gain strength and inspiration to share with all we meet throughout the week. We invite you to join us in this celebration of life, to nourish your spirit and to enjoy the company of kindred souls. And with that, let's stand and sing our opening hymn, Let There Be Peace. Do we have another hymn we can sing right now?
We could sing This Is My Song.
We got 206 on the board.
Yeah, that's called This Is My Song.
This is my song, number 206, In the Wings of Song.
Yeah.
Well, good morning again. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome. More people keep trickling in. Goody, goody. All right, so a quick note, please turn your phones on mute or do not disturb for the service. Thank you. Don't forget we have a suggestion box at the back. If you have suggestions or ideas of people who you want to see as speakers or healers or meditators or any other items, if you have any ideas for how to move forward in our journey of evolution, please let us know. We can also be reached by email at interfaith on 9th Street, and that's the number 9th in there, at gmail.com. You can also call the church, leave a voicemail, we'll get back to that. And you can also contact a board member. Who is speaking next week?
We're not sure, supposed to be Robert.
Robert McCumber.
Because he's still in, he can't get here, he's in Colorado.
Oh, he's in Colorado.
Hoping Jasmine will.
Okay, it is to be determined.
Time now, so I emailed her.
Yeah, it is to be determined then.
Call her Jasmine.
It'll always be a good thing. Check out our website. We do have a great website where you can pick up on things that are going on here at the church. Also, we have our notifications on Facebook, and we have a paper newsletter too. So if you have to keep in touch with us, those are ways to keep in touch. If you missed or would like to rewatch a service, you can check out YouTube. We record our services, including last week's community service. If you wanted to check out what we talked about last week, you can check us out on YouTube. It will be a few days delay due to time we need to put it out there, but you can check out our olden services. One service per month is going to be dedicated to unity as we work towards becoming an evolving church through unity. It is the last Sunday of the month. The Unity Book Club group discussion is on Sunday evenings at 6 p.m. We'll meet here in the church, also on Zoom, so if you'd like to join us. We're finishing up a book right now, but wherever we are in that book, you can join us because we always have great discussions. Donations, if you're interested in sending us donations, you can mail checks to the church. You can also pay through PayPal. Check out our website. There's a link on the bottom of the website through PayPal. We will be working on fundraisers. We did the church rummage sale, which was a good thing. We did very well with that. And we will be working on a book sale for the fall. So if you're going to be cleaning off your bookshelves, put them aside, and we will put those in the book sale if you would like to donate them to us. Consider joining our summer gardening group. Denise has been doing a great job with crew in hand. How many crew did you have, Denise? How many people do you have helping you with the gardens? Lita and Mark, thank you guys so much. It looks amazing so far. Yay. We can always use more help. Denise says we need a lot of work along the side of the building. So anybody who wants to put their hands in the dirt and touch your soul to the ground and get the ground touching your soul, that'll be a good experience. Just a minute. Okay. Well, why don't you give your announcement?
My announcement is to thank Marky Mark for being at the UU Church rummage sale and finding this little coffee pot for this $1.50. It's like brand new, and we have caffeine-free coffee in that one, and we have regular coffee in the regular coffee pot. So those who want decaf, we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mark. It's perfect. It's just perfect.
All right, we always like to make sure we think of those who are not with us physically. We have our prayer bowl and here on the podium, and we have physical requests for prayers as well as mental requests for prayers. So if you want to mentally include somebody in our prayer bowl or healing bowl, please do so, or you can put in a little piece of paper with their name on it. Does anybody at this point have any prayer requests? Carol? You should have come up here and said that. Yeah, because I can't remember all of that.
Phyllis McCoy has long COVID, as does my younger sister, and Phyllis has asked for prayers for all who have this disease and for the research teams who are working to resolve this medical mystery, and love and gratitude to all.
Anyone else have a prayer request? Well, obviously, we still want to pray for those in Ukraine and continued support for them. All right. Since there are no other prayer requests at this time, don't forget to join us after service today. We do have some goodies downstairs to enjoy, as well as the decaf and regular coffee, and we have a hot water so you can make some tea. And don't forget, every third Sunday we will have a potluck, soup, sandwiches, whatever we have coming at us. And that is next Sunday. So Father's Day. So if anybody wants to bring anything special for the fathers, and there. All right, so now we will say the principles. I think let's do the short version here, the Unity 5 basic principles. You should have those in the pew with you. All right. All right. God is the source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. We are spiritual beings created in God's image. The Spirit of God lives within each person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking. There are powerful affirmation prayer, which increases our awareness of God. Knowledge of these spiritual principles is not enough. We must live them. All right, and now we'll sing hymn number 74 in Wings of Song. That is In the Silence. And then Lisa Cerri will be doing our meditation, and she will be our guest speaker today as well.
Invite you all to place your feet squarely on the floor before you. Draw your spine up straight and open your chest a bit. Open up the cavern, the cauldron of your heart. And take a breath. And just feel the peace of the morning and the fragrance of the lilacs. The remembrance of the sunshine as you walked in this morning. The radiance of which you're a part. The light that shines down upon us becomes us. The sun as we know it is the sun, but the sun is a star, and we are made of stardust. So an aspect of the sun is alive within us. Take a breath and acknowledge the sun within you, your own radiance. Draw your breath in through the soles of your feet, from the earth, from the magnetic core. Allow her to ground you in your presence here upon this planet. In this space and time. Breathing in from below and out through the heart. Allow that natural rhythm to take over and soften the crown at the top of your head. And open to the universe, to the ancient, to the stars, to your spirit guides. Saint Germain, the Elohim, Paracelsus. Draw upon that ancient wisdom of which you are also a part. Draw that into your heart. And out through the palms of your hands, those secondary heart chakras that you wrap around each other when you hug, that you outstretch to each other. And breathing from above and below and into the heart. Take a moment while you're resting in your breath and be in deep recognition of the sensations you may feel within your body, the spaciousness, as the air that inhabits your body and the life force that inhabits your body, and the thought process as you're aware of this prayerful meditation, all intermix and intermingle and become one within you. And breathing again from above and below and out through the heart. While retaining all of the sensations that have arisen in you over the course of this meditation, allow yourself to be invited back fully into your body, into your flesh-filled form, into your cells, into your molecules, into your atoms, into your genetic encodement. Feel that life force abiding within you. And gently open your eyes and return to the space around us and say good morning. Jerry has something to share. Okay.
I've never felt this before, but it's Reverend Hutchinson, our old pastor. He comes with his light, compassion, and love to each of you, and always for all those who gather here. He says the universe is fantastic, and I bring the love of the universe to each one of you, because you are all light and love forever and always. And I thank you.
And thank you, Reverend Hutchinson, also known as Bill. Over the past couple of years, we've been embarking on this potential evolution into a unity congregation. And unity is a form or a construct of a congregation. Not unlike this building is a form or a construct that holds for the moment our church, but it could just as easily hold a restaurant or a warehouse full of flooring. So the key, in my estimation, to the nature of what the potential of becoming a unity congregation portends is the manner in which we fill the space. And I have been listening really deeply for this last couple of years about any places where people had concerns or reservations about how it is that what we've ever been might be becoming whatever we become, and whether or not we would still feel that we recognize it and that it is meaningful to us, and that it might also affect positive change in our lives and in the lives of those around us. And I was going to say those we love, but maybe even those we don't. And so it really caused me to look more deeply into the foundations of unity. And so 100 or more years back, there was one gal, I believe her name was Emily Cady, and she was friends with Mary Baker Eddy, who was said to be the founder of Christian Science and the Christian Science Monitor, and which was like a Pulitzer Prize winning publication in its day. What else came to my mind was that there was a handful of people who, for whatever reason, all seemed to resonate with each other and congregate together. And they actually all kind of broke away from some of the more conventional constructs of what we knew or understood to be a church 100 years ago, in the pursuit of some things that were premised on some theosophical thought, and some of what has now been brought to the term New Thought, which is different than New Age, New Thought Church. And it was premised a lot upon, the teachings of Jesus, because I think 100 years ago, those were really the primary means by which people connected with anything that was spiritual. And things that were spiritual also became things that became what the community was comprised of and what our families were comprised of. And, maybe things are different now and maybe things are not. Churches as constructs are challenged in these days to remain relevant and to remain in the 3D form. And then when COVID came, even more of that was deconstructed. We were literally brought out of this box, this construct, and then it was upon us as a congregation to make determinations about how we might want to gather together again through Zoom. What it really made me contemplate is the metaphysical nature. A couple of the congregation members that I've talked with over the last couple of years have said they really love the metaphysical nature of how it is that we have always met each other, greeted each other, and pursued our understanding at this church, and that they didn't necessarily view unity as a metaphysical church, but as a quote-unquote Christian church. And it was being presented to me as if those were in opposition to each other, that you couldn't be a Christian church and be metaphysical. And I have to say that they are definitively one. And when I got deeper into the study of what unity was founded upon, I came upon this book. It's Unity Metaphysics. And it's a pretty thick text, and it's a compilation of two books that they have used, I guess, for a long time, a tan one and a blue one. And it says, you will find in this book that mind, with a capital M, does two crucial things. It creates and emits divine ideas. You will see that true, perfect nature is what metaphysical thinkers know as an idea. The divine idea, in capitals, the divine idea for human beings is given a special term, the Christ. Divine ideas form the pattern or construct or template from which things in the material world are expressed. So they're saying that they're caring to define the nature of Christ as not the individual Jesus. We often say Jesus Christ, but Christ was not Jesus's last name. Jesus was Jesus of Nazareth, and he was a Christed being, and the Christ is an aspect of illumined potential brought to life in the being of the flesh-filled form of Jesus. And Jesus said many times, "This so shall you do, and greater," implored upon us as humans and humanity to contemplate the potential of every person having the aspect of Christ as the divine idea, as the template embodied and enlivened in their person. These are heady notions, people. These and other fascinating metaphysical ideas are all here, directly from the heart and pen of America's preeminent metaphysician, Charles Fillmore, as revealed to him by God Mind. So at the very least, I would like to say about this book and about the potential of unity and about unity's history is that I find it very much in accord with the nature of what we have been embodying in this church knowingly for the century that I've known or more that it's existed, and certainly in the 25 that I've been here. That has been the truth that I've experienced. And simultaneous to that, I will say that the aliveness of that could not be conveyed as readily in this last couple of years with COVID, and I'm feeling and believing in the potential of it reigniting in a new way. But I wasn't here as often in the few years before that, and I felt and attributed my absence to the absence of feeling that aliveness as much here. And I think that maybe we were in kind of, one of those metamorphosis states. We were kind of in that little place where the imaginal cells are kind of making a determination about how they want to bring themselves forth again in form. And metaphysics has some really interesting definitions. Everybody always goes to the dictionary or Wikipedia, and it's noted in a totally non-spiritual way by the dictionary. It's actually referred to as just a philosophy. It feels utterly unalive to me. And metaphysics as defined by unity is still kind of a little tight for me. The systemic study of the science of being with a capital B, that which transcends the physical. By pure metaphysics is meant a clear understanding of the realm of ideas and their legitimate expression. I'm still not certain at all what that means. And I kind of think that that's the point. I kind of think that we don't know is the point. That in the same way that anybody could go to 8th grade math and find out that math is math and 2 + 2 is 4, and then we know that 2 + 2 is 4, you get up into algebra and astrophysics and you put a bunch of jibber-jabber on the chalkboard, and I don't have the slightest idea what it means. But it apparently is representative of something that there's some truth in, and it can be placed into those equations can be placed into certain circumstances, and things can be made of them, and rockets go to the moon. I mean, it's something. And so to bring it right here to us is to say, man, if we want to be taking a look at unity from a vantage point that feels readily accessible to us here at this congregation, this is a book I think I could invite people to look at, and not because I've had a chance to look at it. I felt really quaky about the possibility of speaking today, on metaphysics and on unity, when I haven't read the book, and I've just opened up a handful of pages, and of course all of my bookmarkers fell out. I know one was on 167, so I'll just open up to 167 and see. Okay. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the union of two, the idea and the expression. Or in other words, he is the perfect person demonstrated. The way would be more difficult for us without the way shower, and for in him we find the embodiment of what all of us truly are and are to be. Jesus Christ is the name which identifies the individual who perfectly understood the divine nature. Oh, that's page 169. Oh, yeah, that must not have been the page I was looking for. Let's see. Hold on. Because that wasn't it at all. Because I was really fascinated by a couple of things that was good. Did you like that? Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay. Power of thought. You cannot have consciousness without thinking. It is the nature of the mind to think, and your every thought, no matter how trivial, causes vibrations in the universal ether that ultimate in the forms of visibility. Is that a sentence? That ultimate in the forms of visibility. You know that the working power of the mind is thought, and that through thought, all the conditions that seem to encompass you were formed. Now that is a really deep underlying principle of New Thought philosophy, of metaphysics, of mind over matter, of the secret, of, let's see, who are a few of my other thought keepers? Louise Hay, Brene Brown just wrote a whole new book called The Atlas of the Heart, premised on 83 words that describe emotional states beyond mad, sad, angry, and joyful. Because she just said, unless we have a language for the nature of how it is that we are feeling how we are, how can we truly describe the nature of how we're feeling? And if we can't convey how we're feeling, almost what's the purpose of living? Like, the whole thing about being human is that we're not an animal, although we are. We're not a plant, and who says plants don't have feelings? Oh. I have to say I'm a little lost, and I'm gonna blame it on you guys. I'm gonna ask you all right now. This last sentence in the principles, knowledge of these spiritual principles is not enough. We must live them. Part of what I wanted to convey today was precipitated by a conversation that I had with Carolyn Sheets. And she was talking to me about this present moment, the times that we are in. And these times, I think I can pretty much speak for all of us, are not what we had grown accustomed to before the last several years. I mean, COVID definitely rocked us. And there's so many things that are transpiring in the world that are really shaking us, and especially those of us who tend to be more sensitized to things that are outside of just our realm of touch and taste and vision. And that is the spirit. I mean, like, do you all feel it? Am I imposing anything on you? Does everybody think that everything is totally normal right now in your everyday life? Every single one of you? I don't think anything's normal in my life. I don't think anything's normal in my relationships. I don't think anything's normal in the way that I'm looking at the world or the way the world is appearing to me. I mean, I have referred to it as inside-out world, upside-down world, convolution. I mean, like, it almost feels like when we spoke 20 years ago about the potential of a pole reversal, a polar reversal, an actual shifting at the level of the electromagnetic fields, of which is a real thing. It's scientifically proven. It happens about every 11,000 years. The positive and the negative poles on this planet literally shift over a period of time. And the last time it happened, we weren't around to monitor it. We weren't around to take pictures of it. We weren't around to calibrate where it was with our mechanisms that can read these things now. But they do core samples into the ice in the Arctic and pull it out, and sure enough, all of the magnetic filings shift their orientation about every 11,000 years. And we are electromagnetic beings. We know this scientifically now. We didn't know, I don't think, that we were electromagnetic beings 2,000 years ago when the historical Jesus was walking upon the earth. Maybe we knew it, or something about it, about 100 years ago when Fillmore and a handful of theosophical folks were like trying to say, you know, there's got to be something more than just our blood and flesh. And there's got to be something more than just being good and saying nice things. You know, there's got to be a way to affect a change, because there's always distortions in our bodies, in our thinkings, in what's transpiring outside. And how do we write things back into, I will use the word divine order. Buddhists would not necessarily refer to it as the divine order. They would just say a way of loving kindness, a way that nature bears itself out. And certainly we have not treated nature well as of late. And nature's, you know, got the upper hand. Nature's not treating us too well. It's kind of a come round. There's your boomerang. So what I feel like the crux of what I'm trying to say is not just a saying. I am caring to convey the necessity that I feel in having this body of people at this church, and whoever comes through the doors from this point forward, step into deeper, fuller, more expansive understandings of their being and their metaphysical nature, and that as they come to break free of the bonds of their thinking that have been previously how they have measured, monitored, and perceived their lives, that it would open more widely. And I think that all of us have had that experience and sought to do that for a long time. And I'm believing that in Carolyn's echoing Phyllis McCoy's saying a couple of years ago that we are a cornerstone church, that cornerstone is metaphorical to the building of a new understanding, building of a new perception. That which is metaphysical has always been. That which is changing is our capacity to see, understand, embody, convey more fully what that is. And I think it's why people come here, is the curiosity of that. And some of us experience it. Some of us experience it in our own lives, in our own studies, in our experiences with each other, perhaps you all in your Unity book group. I certainly did when I was helping facilitate some of the groups, literally like when I was leading the meditation. I'm caring for you to see, feel, like get that felt sense of how our physical bodies can literally be vibrating at a different level, and that the thoughts that are conveyed from us and the ways that we perceive what is around us is literally being transformed by these times. And if we look upon what's happening outside, and I have done this with fear and a sense of separation, and that that's nothing but chaos, and I need to isolate myself from it. If you are going to be isolated from it, if your choice is to remain outside of the sphere of where you feel too vulnerable to be, then at the very least, seek some solace and some place within you that can connect deeply with that central core of the power of the life force that you are here to be a part of what is transpiring. And if you're somebody who does step out with your voice, with your actions, with your thoughts, with however it is that you even contemplate things or hold yourself. You know, there are some people who do. They walk into a room and it just lights up. And there are others who walk in and you can feel the space being drained of something that feels more harmonic and comfortable. And it's incumbent upon all of us to be in a place of self-responsibility around that, myself included. Okay. I have, number one, defined metaphysics. I have identified Jesus as a metaphysician to you and let you know that his last name was not Christ, and that the Christ within any of us is the manner in which we hold a particular light that alters the nature of how we see, how we feel, how we breathe, how we think, how we manifest our existence on this planet. Becoming unity. Yeah, I suppose I've kind of addressed that peripherally. And the metaphysics of unity within. And then I said practices. Yeah, what are the practices? There's probably something in here worth taking a look at. I got it on Amazon for $14.95. I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna be grateful. I'm gonna put my feet on the ground, and I am going to believe and trust and know that each of you within your own being understand something meaningful of what has been said and what has been felt and what is to come. Amen.
Thank you, Lisa. As always, you inspire us to move forward. I think a lot of us, I know for myself, I have a tendency to just want to curl up in a ball and stay home and do nothing, even though I do go to work every day, almost every day. All right, and some of those people are not necessarily fun to be around, but you know what I say. Okay, so at this point, let's have the offering. If somebody would grab a basket or two and maybe send that around and play some nice music for us, Carol. At this point, let's bless the offerings with the unity blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Amen. All right, so verse
38 says the gift to be simple.
yep, hymn number 338 in Wings of Song. It's a gift to be simple. Second page.
Let's start over.
All right, how appropriate for Lisa's speech today. All right. Yes.
It's a little bit odd for a benediction, but I'm going to read it anyway. Metaphysics is really the study of Metaphysics is really the study and science of divine ideas, which may totally transcend the data of existing physical facts. When we use the word metaphysical in unity, we almost always mean something which is true concerning the inner life of every human being, regardless of time, place, and circumstances. And they have 3 examples, and one is forgiveness. Primarily benefits the forgiver. Temptation constitutes an opportunity for choice. And health is our true and natural state. And I echo that loudly from deep within the realms of my inner being, and I focus it intently on Reverend Phyllis McCoy. And all of us are in accord with this harmonization of thought for the best and truest health of her well-being, bodily and spiritually. Amen.
All right, let's gather up in a circle as close as we can around the podium here, and we'll sing our final song, God Be With You.
Till we meet again.